Okay, hello everyone again. We are back and we are ready to go over some new releases really quickly for you.
Yes.
We're going to try and keep it short form. We don't want to bore you guys for too long. So we're going to jump straight in. Wrist check. What you got, Christian?
36mm ball, Marvel-like, whatever it is, engineered. Great watch, very sturdy. Been wearing it for the last couple of weeks.
Nice, short and sweet.
Yeah.
Rolex Submariner Starbucks on a NATO strap.
Beautiful.
Warming it up for some travel. Enjoy it, but don't love it.
There we are.
There we go.
Lovely.
Right, moving on. So, we're going to review and have a quick conversation about some of the key releases that there have been over the last couple of weeks. We're going to start with the one that's really grinding my gears, but I'm going to let you give your opinion first.
Okay.
So, Black Bay 54, don't know what they call it, but the turquoise one that's just got launched.
So,
talk to me about it.
So when it first came out, because was it 37mm, the 54?
Yeah.
So because it's 37mm, my girlfriend immediately sent it to me. I was like, I really like this. And I was like, fantastic looking watch. Get on the Jubilee or Fire Blink instead.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite a nice looking watch.
It's cool.
And then you sent me a text, and it ruined my day, honestly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it pissed me off quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion then?
Well, that text, it looks like an Oris Diver 65 cotton candy, and it's a whole lot more expensive than Oris 65 Divers cotton candy.
Yes.
Look, I get. Tudor's are very high quality watches. Obviously,
Incredibly
I'm
high quality,
actually really quite smitten with the 37mm Diver. Don't have one myself, but I think it's a cool size. They're nice and flat. The proportions are wonderful.
Yeah.
I actually really like their Jubilee bracelet, but does it all go together? And why are we still doing turquoise? Why are we still doing turquoise? That Tiffany Nautilus was fucking years ago. Look, get over it, everyone. I'm so done with this turquoise. Like, when Rolex launched that bloody Daytona with the turquoise thing, right, I'll be honest, I've warmed to it because my newsfeed on my Instagram is absolutely packed with Tiffany Daytonas.
I'm sorry, but I like the gold Tiffany Daytona.
I do now, that's what I didn't, when I saw it, I was like, oh, we're still doing this, but I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay.
Have you seen it in person?
No, but the in-person pictures after seeing renders, it's warming.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen like the photos people take. It's actually quite nice looking. I quite like it.
Look, anyway,
yeah,
turquoise.
Fine.
I hate that I'm even calling
the 58.
I hate that I'm even calling it Tiffany. We're not going to call it Tiffany anymore because that pisses me off.
Yeah, fine.
So, I think that the watch is great. The proportions are great. The bracelet's great. Obviously, it's all standard Tudor, which is very, very good, very high quality. But the colour for me is dumb. Like, let's just move on from the colour. Also, the bezel. Oh wait, you had opinions on the bezel, did you? Or am I going to do this? You go first.
The bezel's fine. I think they should have done something else. I think the polished steel is just such a mistake.
It looks unfinished to me. It looks like an unfinished watch.
Yeah, I personally would say unfinished.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say it's definitely not right for the watch.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I think when you have a steel watch, it has to be a lot blingier than just shiny bezel.
Well, the bezel usually needs the contrast as well. I mean, look, these are obviously personal style choices, I get that.
Of course, yeah.
But for me, the bezel needs the contrast. And we just need to change that colour on the dial. Just do something else. But anyway, look.
But it's a lovely texture though, that dial.
The texture looks good, and actually I like that Tudor have played with texture.
Yes.
Because on none of the other Black Bays, I don't think there's any textured dials.
The fifth... Oh god. Was there a 58? No, that was the new Black Bay 40, wasn't it? 41.
Right.
Where it had the new black bezel, and then it was like a dispersed kind of...
A different coloured dial as well.
Yeah, it was like a different type of black. Sunburst.
Yeah,
black.
Oh yeah, sunburst.
That was quite nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but maybe look. You know what? Despite the fact that I despise the colour, you're right about the texture. It's nice that they're doing something like that, and I think, long may that continue. Mess around with some textures on the dial.
I think that in a green would look fantastic.
Yeah, you'd have to change that polished bezel, but I like.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I agree with you. Maybe a nice green on that texture.
If they did if they did a green texture with a green bezel.
Yeah, I think it's just jumping on the hype, isn't it? I mean, I get it. This turquoise colour sells, and they've obviously done it with the chrono the pink and the what they call it, flamingo blue, which it doesn't scare me too much on the chrono. But again, it's just a hype thing. Like they said that there wasn't going to be many made, and then there was shitloads made, and now there's none around.
Yeah, they're like,
and it's just like, come on, guys.
To like some team in America, and they're like, oh, everyone's got one now. It's like,
so I love Tudor generally. Like as for their watches, the value's still there in the Tudors, especially second hand. The value's really there.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
But the whole hype cycle is just killing me now.
Well, speaking of hype cycle,
yes, go.
Speaking of another Tudor, this is the best Tudor I've ever seen.
Oh, right, okay, go on.
This is my favourite Tudor that's ever been produced.
Okay, go on. What are we talking about?
So this is the black ceramic. What's it called? It's called the.
The carbon chrono we were going to talk about. That's what it was.
Oh,
the white dial.
The white dial blue.
Yeah, no, that is really nice.
Is it flange inside? What's it called? The blue inner bezel.
I don't know. Yeah.
Basically inner bezel.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That is cool.
I had an orgasm when I saw that watch.
It is pretty cool, to be fair. Yeah, no, I rate that.
It was the nicest looking watch I've seen from Tudor forever.
Yeah, the cycling chrono was really cool, but I think the white actually does elevate it a bit on this.
Oh, dude, no, I love this watch so much. It's such a good looking watch.
Is it? And it still feels like good value for a Tudor, for the movement that you're getting, and for a waterproof chronograph in carbon.
100%.
For me, it still feels pretty good. I've seen a few kicking around on Instagram now, and they all look great.
Fantastic.
I think they look great on the straps they come on as well.
I don't know if the white is like an enamel white. I think it might be. So it's more of a pure white than the. What's the white called they've been using?
Like the opaline.
Opaline. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it is like a nice enamel-y kind of thing.
I think it's either ceramic or enamel. They said.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's a much whiter white. And I think with the blue and the black carbon case, I think it just looks
does
fantastic.
pop really well.
Plus, I'm a massive F1 fan, so that kind of helps me draw myself into the watch. But just 100%.
I like that they're playing with that model. I like that they're doing that, and I like that they're expanding on the chronographs outside of the Black Bay massive, horrible chronographs.
Yeah, I didn't like the whole we've put a Jubilee on a chronograph, and now we've put a pink dial or a blue dial. I'm like, okay, fantastic. But now they're doing something really different. Yeah. This reminds me of when they started doing like the old chronos, like the old sort of 80s, 90s chronos, where it was the.
There was a Fast Rider, I think.
Fast Rider, and they had
carbon as well. Big Block. There was a few others, I can't remember them all. But
there's an American baseball one as well, or people call it that.
I don't know.
Anyway, those were funky and fantastic. They were really good looking watches. Yeah. And then they went into a more, and then the Black Bay took over. Understandably why.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're going. Even though it's still a Black Bay, I think they're trying to go a bit more back to their roots and a bit more funky.
Okay.
And I think that's what Tudor should be known for.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm hoping in the future will be known for.
So before we move on, which Tudor are you taking if someone hands you one? Are you taking that blue one?
What, as in anything?
Freebie. Yeah, any Tudor in the range, which are you taking?
Yeah, I'm probably taking the Chrono.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, I'll back you on that, I think.
Yeah.
Perfect, alright, well, let's move on. Sticking on the topic of divers from the 54, we'll move on to the Blanc 50 Fathoms. The new size.
Fine, yes, the 38.
Let's do that, we'll do that first. We'll move on. The 38, there was not that much to say on this. These are a little bit out of our wheelhouse. It's a whole lot of money. And if I was going to spend that much money...
Whoa.
Yeah.
A lot of money?
I mean, look, if I'm spending...
It's a rip-off, mate.
Oh. No, we can't go that far, can we?
Like, okay. You look... Okay, Blanc, yes, they make their own movements. So does Rolex. The quality in a Blanc, I've tried them on. All the sizes. I haven't tried the new ones on the 38s, but... tried the 41 point or 42.3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I've tried the 44 or 45.
45, yeah.
I've tried them both on. They're both massive. They're both chunky. It's nice that some of them are made out of titanium.
Yeah.
But for what you're paying on a bracelet.
Yeah,
just
true.
Wait a year and a half to buy some Mariner.
It is a lot of money, and I think I like that they've reduced the size because, as you say, the others were massive or are massive. 38 is a really nice accessible size, and I do think that, as we were saying, the Black Bay 54 is great in a 37. I'm sure this in the 38 will wear perfectly.
It's 15 grand.
That's the problem. That's my problem with it. And I hate to do that as well because I I do think we should think about watches aside from the value because we are watch enthusiasts. So there is that as well, but you can't ignore it.
I agree when you're looking at so lower end watches. You look at the price proposition because you're getting value for the money. When you when you go up market, you're getting the prestige, the brand, you're getting the history, you're getting all of that, and that's why you buy a Rolex or a Omega. When you start getting into really high-end stuff, talking Patek, AP, Jacob & Co, like ridiculous stuff, that's when you're buying the fact that these watches are mental.
Yeah, true.
And you want to be
value
the guy
doesn't
who
exist,
has a mental
really.
watch. When you're looking at a tool watch that is ceramic, has an in-house movement, and is just a great everyday watch, or it should be. I feel like Blanc, even though they're one of the oldest companies in the world, and they have such a history, 15 grand for that watch is just too much.
So they just price themselves out.
You're not looking at that. Even when you're looking at a Submariner, let's just compare it to a Submariner for a second. When you're looking at that comparison, a Submariner is still under 10 grand.
Just about.
I think. And you've got the same, not same history, but the same length of history, I think, and the same prestige as Rolex. But you're getting lesser quality than a Rolex, in my opinion. I've tried them on. I think you're getting a lesser quality watch for a third more of the price.
For a lot more money. Yeah, they do seem to have priced themselves out, and it is a funny one because, as you say, I guess for me, I will spend £20,000 on a watch that is more exclusive, or that is like my Royal Oak. I'll happily pay that money, even though it's basically a really elevated Tissot PRX. I will still pay that money because of what it is. Whereas I guess you're right that it feels too close to a Submariner. It feels too close to. I mean, what are the IWC do Aquatimers? JLC do the Polaris. Like it feels very close to those things. But it's way more money. The one thing that I will say though is, if it was less money, that pink and titanium is wonderful. I would kill that pink titanium. I would love to be wearing that around. I would wear that everywhere. But it is £15,000 on an NATO.
I feel like dial on the pink is just a smidgen much for you, mate.
No, I could rock
36mm pink OP.
It goes well with my phone. It's, I think that would be great, but for £15,000 on a NATO, I'm not sure that I'm really there.
It's a bit much.
But look, good for someone, I guess. If you got that cash, go for it.
If you're a millionaire out there and you want something funky that no one else has, because no one else wants to buy it, buy it, 100%.
Pink or the rose gold, I reckon.
Yeah,
one of those.
100%, go for it. Why not?
Okay, so from one very high-end diver to a lower-end diver, or we won't say lower-end, a budget diver.
Yes.
My favourite brand. Not going to offend
Christopher Ward.
We're going to do this as much as I don't like this. No, I do. We've had a little look. The C60 Trident Reef range, which are there for basically fun summer watches by the look of it. I'm the first person to kind of slam the brand, but actually the price point's really good, about £700. There's a nice range.
On the rubber.
On the rubber, yeah.
Like 800 on the bracelet.
2 sizes as well, which I like. They've done 2 sizes, 44 and 41. And there are some pretty fun colours. But I'll let you give your opinion. You're more of a Christopher Ward guy. What do you think about these in the range?
I hate to say, but I'm more on your side when it comes to these colours. I think they're great for somebody, but I think there's too many people out there who like a basic watch. Don't like to go too extravagant. Like, my extravagance is a Doctor 300T. Because you get, I'm talking about the classic, like the bright orange.
The colour, the professional one.
But
I think it's called,
the only reason that appeals to me is because at the time they were invented, the whole orange was seen to be the most visible colour in the water. There's a story behind it. It's a really cool story, and that's why the orange still exists. Because people love the orange, because it's Doctor. These are just
bit of summer fun.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't go for one yourself?
No. I think in a dive watch, it's too much. They did all the funky colours in the 12. I thought that was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, some of those are quite cool, weren't they?
They were all fantastic. They look great. In person, they look fantastic. But dive watches have a lot more. They are summer wear on the beach with a cocktail with a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Boyfriend, whatever you want to do.
Or both.
Good man.
Yeah. No, it's not me. By the way.
But with divers, you want a bit more functionality to them. And yes, they are functional. They are 300 metre divers.
Yeah.
They are slim. They are a good size.
Yeah.
But I would like a bit more. Like I like the white because it's a bit more unique.
Yeah.
But I think all the other colours do a bit more. It's just to me it's a generic thing. They're just trying to pump more money into.
Yeah.
They're not really thinking about the watches personally.
No, it's a fashion thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't hate them. I quite like. When we were just looking at them now, they are nice and slim versus a lot of divers, which I rate. I like that the colour runs through the case as well. I didn't notice that until we really looked at it.
Yes.
The colour of the dial on each of them runs around the side of the case as well, which again, not really many other brands do. The price point's fair. I'm actually on board with you. I like the white and turquoisey style.
Yeah, sort
green,
of the greeny turquoise outlines. Yeah, it's cool.
But that's for me, like, if you're going to buy a watch at that value for that purpose, you might as well go that all out.
If you want a coloured dive watch, buy a Doxa or buy a a generic colour, like a blue.
Yeah, fine.
Even in the C60 range, they do.
True. Yeah,
was it green, colours. Blue, black, and I think they do white.
Yeah.
And they're, to me, a lot more of a classic dive watch. Even though they're funky colours, that's a watch I would happily go diving with.
So, I know you're not the biggest fan of the Doxa Sub 200 that I'm probably going to buy, but would you take a Doxa Sub 200 or would you take a C60 Trident Reef? They're about the same price. What do you reckon?
Oh, that's hard. I don't want to say Doxa because I love Doxa so much, but I think the 200 is just...
Yeah, it's not your watch.
It's really... I would take the Reef.
Okay, interesting, cool.
Yeah, I would take the white Reef.
It's fresher.
Over the white
fresher.
Doxa.
Yeah, okay, fair play. Alright, well, let us know what you think on those. There's a good number of different colours and I'd love to hear which ones you like, which ones you would wear for the summer. And I guess how it fits into your collection, because that's the thing with me is how do you fit these things in? Like, it's fun to have them.
Also, what I do like about the Reef massively is the fact that because they're so not interchangeable, but the when you buy them, you can buy any colour strap you want with it.
Okay.
As in the one you buy.
Yeah.
So you can buy a white with a yellow strap.
Yeah.
But you can buy an orange with a blue strap. Okay. And I think that's, again, they're thinking more of the customer than. More about the customer rather than thinking about what will look good in the shop, which is fantastic because then people can do what they want, and it's a much more their personal watch than it is.
That's a good point actually. Yeah, and brands tend to not like you to do that, do they?
Not at all.
Rolex. Anyway, let's move on. Moving on. So the last one that we're going to look at today, the last little one, is a very little one.
Yes.
So. Small watches have been topical for a little while. I actually think they've been topical again since AP did their Royalite Mini, which I think is like a 25mm. I think it's a baby watch.
Is it?
They were really cool, obviously hideously expensive. But lots of brands have been doing smaller watches and now kind of mini watches. Omega have just come through with their Aquaterra 30mm.
Yeah. That's with the Metes movement, so it's their own in-house. Compared to what they were doing before, which was either mainly quartz or I think they had just a standard, slightly modified ETA. And now they've brought out the fully, just not the normal Seamaster reference is the 8800 caliber. I don't know what caliber this is, but it's the same architecture, it's the same Meta certified, it's the same everything. So it's now a very small watch with a very, very capable movement.
Yeah, which is nice because I think I don't know what the market's like for these things, but in theory it's nice because usually it's a shrink it, pink it, stick a quartz movement in.
Yeah.
For women or jewellery watches. Cartier do it. I love Cartier, but they fall victim to that. They stick a battery movement in every single one. Other brands will just literally shrink things, put diamonds on. So it's nice to see that Omega have come through with a good watch, good movement, in a lady's size.
But then speaking of the market, like you just said, is the market there for it? Because when you're buying a lady's Omega, you're looking at about a half to just over half the price of a male. That's because, like you said, they shrink it, pink it, and put a quartz in there.
Yeah.
Being in the industry, I know there are women out there who do want this watch,
Yeah.
but I honestly don't think the market is big enough
Yeah,
for
maybe not.
this.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I guess that's the thought process, is that is this a commercial product at all? Or is it just one that they do just to flex that they can do it and say that they aren't just making women's watches with shit movements?
I mean, Rolex has been doing their own in-house women's movements for years.
That's a good point, yeah.
And back in the 80s and 90s, they were shit. They were shit movements.
Yeah.
They never worked, they didn't wind properly, they broke all the time because they were tiny and you just couldn't get the technology back then to make small movements work that well. Nowadays they're alright. I still saw more small Rolexes coming back for repair than I did big.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty standard. I think for most brands that's pretty standard because trying to make a small movement is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's an actual nightmare to try and get sorted. But no, if this is a fully functioning, completely fine watch, was it 30 or 32 mil?
30 mil these ones, yeah, 30
then,
mil.
you know, there's some men out there, and obviously mainly based around women, but who have tiny wrists.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect watch for them.
Yeah.
And before, all you could buy was you can buy a 58 now with a Metas movement, but before you could buy, there wasn't anything like that.
No, not even close
this
in the
is
size,
the first watch that has that functionality for the smaller wrist, the much smaller wrist. So
Good point.
the market's probably there, but I don't know if it's going to be big enough.
No, I know what you mean. Well, they probably won't make many of them anyway at that size. So I guess I quite like them. I am partial to a small watch.
You are? Yeah.
But that was going to be my closing question here is, what's the smallest watch you own and what's the smallest watch you would go for?
Probably 36. There's the Bull 36,
That one?
the smallest.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't go smaller.
Okay.
I quite like a 36.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I've tried 34s on. They're not like Rolex 34s.
Yeah.
They're not for me.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, 36 to 39, 40, depending on how the 40 fits, is kind of my.
So you haven't been.
But I know you like a smaller watch.
Timothy Chalamet has done it for me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I can't deny it. The boy has made me want a mini watch, and also when they stack, like when you see those posh ladies and they're stacking like 3 mini Royal Oaks.
Oh, 100%.
I've rocked 3 mini Royal Oaks,
that's the one.
but I think that's like 100 grand on your wrist at that point, and they're all scratching against each other. So well, there we go then. So that's our roundup of our new releases this week. Please give us your opinions. I really want to hear your opinion on the turquoise Black Bay 54. I need some backing here. I need to know I'm not on my own in my hatred.
Fine.
So please let us know. Like and subscribe as always. Get in the comments and you'll hear from us very soon.
Beautiful. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Cheers.